So this is my final written reflection, and it's been quite a semester in terms of working with all these different technologies that me personally I had not worked with as much. Like for example, Flipgrid, a lot of the Google platforms such as Google Docs and Google Forms I hadn't really experimented with, and throughout this semester, and specifically these different assignments through this TechQuest portfolio, it went from being really complicated to actually something that I enjoyed being able to do. The Probably the technology that I'll use the most within my classroom, at least, will be the Google Forms, because it's such an easy way to grade assignments like quizzes or tests, since it adds the feedback automatically and you can have it emailed, and it simplifies having to make tests. I mean, before, using a paper test, you need a answer key and then scantrons, and it's the whole trouble of having to actually go out and do the whole grading process. So this really helps make everything very streamlined. Not to mention it goes paperless, which as we move forward with time, I can see where now we're going to be not using paper as much. What else? So the pros were that we get to use technology a whole lot more. And since schools are advancing, like I said before, and being more technologically savvy and technologically forward, I believe more schools are going to be using and implementing a lot of technology. So being able to use the technology for our classrooms allows us to better serve our students. Because at the end of the day, that's what a teacher is. A teacher is someone that serves their students and makes learning fun and attractive. If a student isn't having that connection with a certain subject, then they're not going to learn it at all. So it's something that was definitely a pro throughout this whole entire TechQuest. Now, some cons. Some of the technologies within this weren't suited towards all of us. For example, a lot of like the Twitter, the having to tweet and do responses. I don't see that being implemented with elementary school students, which I know a lot of my peers were going to become multiple subject teachers. For me, since I'm doing single subject, it's a little bit easier, but for them, it didn't really benefit them as much. Well, I mean, they're accustomed to this new technology that's out there, that's available to use, but they're not going to be able to use it or implement it within their classroom, at least, not without it presenting some sort of dilemma or obstacle. So that's probably a con, being able to maybe differentiate between single subject teachers and multiple subject teachers, which I know is going to be more work for the professor that teaches this course, but it'll help out the teacher candidates in the long run, us essentially, to be able to better serve our classroom. Because there's nothing worse than having technology and not being able to use it in the classroom. What else? A lot of the technology here was pretty simple and easy to use. Sometimes it'll be a little bit harder, like with the Tinker. So there's some assignments, like I said, that are geared towards a more general audience in terms of classrooms, but then there were assignments that were only specifically directed towards some. For example, using Tinker and the online gaming. I forgot what it was. I'm gonna think if I can pull it up. It was basically how to implement video games. Where was it? Right on page. Surrounding technology. No. Here we go. Gamification techniques. So what I really liked about that, for what I'm going to be teaching, which is world history, there's actually a game called Assassin's Creed Odyssey, where it takes place in Rome and Greece, specifically Greece, and there's actually a mode that takes tours of ancient Greece. So it allows students to take something that they really like, which are video games, and implement that within the classroom. So in some cases, a lot of these tasks were geared towards, and that's the thing, I can understand that there were different tasks, so whichever one you feel more comfortable with, or whichever one was able to be more of a tool within your classroom, you would do that one. But you know what? Yeah, I think that pretty much solves what the con was. But sometimes within certain weeks you weren't doing a lot, so it did kind of have a drawback. The Apple Teacher badges were pretty cool and pretty fun to do, since we're so accustomed with Apple products. Being able to actually go in depth and be able to apply them and see how they can be used within the classroom, that was actually also a pro. So overall, I believe this Tech Quest was a success, at least in my opinion, and I definitely enjoyed it. I knew I was kind of lost in the beginning, but other than that, I believe this was a great assignment, and I'm really glad that I was actually able to participate in a class that shows me that there's so much technology. Because when we think of technology in the classroom, mostly we think of just YouTube videos or DVDs or movies. But now there's so much technology that I'm able to see that I'm definitely going to be implementing. Like even Class Dojo, where it allows you to communicate with parents and students, so we're all on the same page, is definitely a technology that I'll be using. So that's it. That's my Tech Quest final reflection, and thank you.